The steering wheel was set too low. Highway Patrol Officer Nina Reeves sat in the driver's seat and felt her knees press against the column. She was 5 feet 9, average height. The wheel was adjusted for someone much shorter, maybe 5 feet 3. She checked the driver's registration. The truck belonged to a man named Aaron Walsh. He was 6 feet tall. This wheel was not set for him. The Freightliner had been found in a barn outside of Rapid City, South Dakota. The barn owner was clearing the property to sell. He found the truck hidden under tarps. He called the police. They ran the plates. The truck was registered to a freight company that dissolved in 2021, but the last driver listed was Aaron Walsh. He had been reported missing in June 2019, 6 years ago. Reeves examined the cab. The interior was dusty but organized. The logbook sat on the dashboard. She opened it. The last entry was June 18, 2019. The signature at the bottom was Aaron Walsh. The handwriting was neat, precise. Reeves checked Aaron's CDL photo. She compared the signature. It matched. Aaron had signed the logbook, but the steering wheel was not set for him. Reeves checked the passenger seat. It was pushed all the way back, like someone tall had been sitting there. Reeves moved to the sleeper berth. The curtain was open. The bunk was unmade. 2 pillows, 2 blankets. Reeves found a woman's jacket folded on the shelf. She checked the pockets. Inside was a CDL. The name on the license was Sophie Mercer. Her photo showed a woman with short blonde hair, height 5 feet 3. Reeves checked the date. The CDL was issued in 2015. It was set to expire in 2023. But when Reeves checked the DMV database, Sophie's license had been renewed in 2022. It was still valid, active. Reeves ran both names through the system. Aaron Walsh and Sophie Mercer had both been reported missing in June 2019. They had been driving together, team drivers. They were hauling furniture from Missouri to Montana. Their last check-in was June 18th at 7:42 p.m. Aaron had called dispatch. He said they were stopping for the night at a rest area near mile marker 284 on Interstate 90. They would resume driving at 6 a.m. Dispatch confirmed. Neither Aaron nor Sophie called back. The freight company filed a missing person report on June 20th. Search teams checked the rest area. They found nothing. Reeves contacted the freight company's former dispatcher. The dispatcher was retired. But she remembered Aaron and Sophie. She said they were professional. They had been driving together for 2 years. They were not a couple, just partners. They worked well together. The dispatcher said Aaron usually handled the night shifts. Sophie drove during the day. On June 18th, Aaron had called to check in. The dispatcher said he sounded tired, but not distressed. He said they would rest and continue in the morning. That was the last conversation. Reeves asked if the dispatcher remembered anything unusual. The dispatcher said no, but she mentioned something. A few days before Aaron and Sophie disappeared, another driver had called. The driver said he had seen their truck at a weigh station. The driver said Sophie and Aaron seemed to be arguing. The dispatcher asked what they were arguing about. The driver did not know. He said they were standing outside the truck, talking intensely. Then they got back in and drove away. The dispatcher did not think much of it. Partners argued sometimes. It was normal. Reeves checked the weigh station records. On June 15, 2019, the Freightliner had passed through a weigh station near Mitchell, South Dakota. The truck had been inspected. No violations. The inspector noted that both Aaron and Sophie were present. They were polite, cooperative. The inspector did not mention any argument. Reeves wondered if the other driver had misunderstood what he saw. Reeves examined the trailer. It was detached, parked next to the barn. The doors were locked. Reeves found the key in the cab. She opened the trailer. It was empty. The furniture was gone. Reeves checked the manifest. The load had been worth $60,000. Tables, chairs, cabinets, all solid wood. The freight company had filed an insurance claim in 2019. They received $45,000. Reeves wondered who had taken the furniture. And when Reeves returned to the cab, she adjusted the steering wheel to match Aaron's height. Then she adjusted it back down to match Sophie's height. She noticed something. The adjustment lever was stiff. It took effort to move. Reeves wondered if someone had adjusted the wheel recently, or if it had been set at Sophie's height for 6 years. She checked the seat position. The driver's seat was pushed forward, close to the pedals, like someone short had been driving. But the last logbook entry was signed by Aaron. That meant Aaron had signed the log. But Sophie had been driving, or Aaron had been sitting in a seat adjusted for Sophie. Reeves checked the logbook again. She read the entries carefully. On June 17th, the handwriting changed. The morning entries were signed by Sophie. The afternoon entries were signed by Aaron. On June 18th, all the entries were signed by Aaron, but the handwriting looked different, slightly messier. Reeves sent photos of the logbook to a forensic handwriting expert. The expert compared the signatures. The expert said the June 18th entries were signed by Aaron, but the pressure and slant suggested he was writing quickly or under stress. Reeves contacted Aaron's family. His brother said Aaron had been excited about the job. He loved driving. He had no plans to leave. The brother said Aaron had mentioned Sophie. He said they got along well. No romantic involvement, just respect. The brother asked if Reeves had found Aaron. Reeves said no, just the truck. The brother went quiet. Then he asked about Sophie. Reeves said she had not found her either. The brother said he hoped they were okay. Reeves did not tell him about the steering wheel. Reeves contacted Sophie's family. Her mother said Sophie had always been independent. She loved the road. She had no enemies, no debts, no problems. The mother asked if Reeves thought Sophie was alive. Reeves said she did not know. The mother started crying. She said it had been 6 years. 6 years of not knowing. Reeves said she would do everything she could to find answers. The mother thanked her. Reeves returned to the rest area near mile marker 284. She walked the parking area. She tried to imagine what happened. Aaron and Sophie had parked the truck. They had gone to sleep. Or maybe they had argued. Maybe something went wrong. Reeves checked the rest area's history. In 2019 there were no security cameras. The rest area had been renovated in 2021. Cameras were installed then, but footage from 2019 was long gone. Reeves contacted other drivers who had been on the route in June 2019. She found 3 drivers who remembered stopping at the rest area around that time. One driver said he had seen the Freightliner. It was parked in the far lane. The driver said he noticed it because the lights were on. The cab lights, like someone was awake. The driver did not approach. He used the restroom and left. Another driver said she had seen 2 people standing near the truck, a man and a woman. The man was tall. The woman was short. They seemed to be talking, not arguing, just talking. The driver did not think anything of it. She left. The third driver said he had not seen the truck, but he remembered something else. Around 11 p.m. on June 18th, he saw a tow truck. The tow truck was hooking up a semi. The driver thought it was a breakdown. He kept driving. Reeves checked tow records from June 18, 2019. She found one entry. A company called Black Hills Towing had logged a job. They towed a Freightliner from mile marker 284 to a storage facility in Rapid City. The driver's name was listed as Marcus Reed. Reeves contacted Black Hills Towing. The company was still in business. The manager pulled the old record. He said Marcus Reed had worked for them in 2019, but he was fired in 2020 for failing a drug test. The manager did not know where Marcus was now. Reeves tracked Marcus down. He was living in Wyoming. He worked at a gas station. Reeves called him. Marcus said he remembered the tow. He said a man had flagged him down at the rest area. The man said his truck had broken down. He needed it towed to storage. Marcus had done the job. He was paid in cash. Reeves asked for a description of the man. Marcus said he was tall, maybe 6 feet, brown hair, wore jeans and a flannel shirt. Reeves asked if the man gave a name. Marcus said yes, Aaron Walsh. Reeves asked if Marcus saw anyone else at the rest area. Marcus said no. The truck was parked alone. The cab was empty. Marcus hooked it up and towed it. He dropped it at the storage facility. The man paid him. Then the man left in a sedan, a blue Honda. Marcus did not see the man again. Reeves asked if Marcus remembered the storage facility's name. Marcus said it was called Rapid Storage, off Highway 44. Reeves thanked him and hung up. Reeves drove to Rapid Storage. The facility was still operating. The manager checked the records. In June 2019, a Freightliner had been stored in Unit 37. The account was under the name Aaron Walsh. The first 6 months were paid in cash. After that, the payment stopped. The facility sent notices, no response. Eventually, they put a lien on the truck, but they never auctioned it. The manager said they did not have the resources. The truck sat for years. In 2023, the facility was purchased by a new owner. The new owner moved the truck to a barn he owned. He planned to auction it eventually, but he never got around to it. Until now. Reeves asked if the manager had security footage from 2019. The manager said no. The facility did not have cameras back then. Reeves asked if anyone had accessed Unit 37 after June 2019. The manager checked the logs. No one. The truck had sat untouched for 6 years. Reeves wondered why Aaron would store the truck and where he and Sophie had gone after that. Reeves examined the blue Honda. Marcus had said the man left in a blue Honda. Reeves checked vehicle registrations. Aaron did not own a Honda, but Sophie did. A 2012 blue Honda Civic. Reeves ran the plates. The car had been registered in Montana, but in 2020 the registration lapsed. The car had not been renewed. Reeves requested a bolo for the Honda. She sent the details to law enforcement across the region. 2 weeks later, a sheriff in North Dakota called. He said they found a blue Honda Civic, abandoned in a field. The plates matched Sophie's car. Reeves drove to North Dakota. She examined the car. The interior was clean. No personal items. The keys were in the ignition. Reeves tried to start it. The battery was dead. She checked the trunk. Empty. She checked the glove box. Inside was the car's registration. It was in Sophie's name. Reeves also found a receipt from a motel in Bismarck, North Dakota, dated June 21, 2019, 3 days after Aaron and Sophie disappeared. The receipt showed a room had been paid for 1 night. Cash. No name on the receipt. Reeves drove to the motel. It was still open. The manager checked the records. On June 21, 2019, room 14 had been rented. The guest paid cash. The manager did not remember them. Reeves asked if the motel had cameras. The manager said they did, but the footage was stored for only 90 days. It was gone. Reeves asked if anyone who worked there in 2019 was still employed. The manager said one housekeeper. Her name was Linda. She worked the morning shift. Reeves returned the next day. She spoke with Linda. Linda said she had been working at the motel for 15 years. She remembered June 2019. It had been a slow month. Reeves showed her photos of Aaron and Sophie. Linda studied them. She said she might have seen the woman. She came in alone. She checked into room 14. She stayed 1 night. She left early the next morning. Linda said she remembered because the woman looked scared, like she was running from something. Reeves asked if Linda saw a man with her. Linda said no. The woman was alone. Reeves checked Sophie's bank records. Sophie's last transaction was on June 21, 2019. She withdrew $200 from an ATM in Bismarck. After that, no activity. Her account had been dormant for 6 years. Reeves checked Aaron's bank records. His last transaction was on June 18, 2019. He bought diesel at a truck stop in South Dakota. After that, nothing. His account was also dormant. Reeves wondered what happened between June 18th and June 21st. Aaron had towed the truck to storage on June 18th. Sophie had checked into the motel on June 21st. That was 3 days. What happened during those 3 days? And where was Aaron now? Reeves checked missing person databases. She expanded the search. She looked for unidentified bodies, men matching Aaron's description. She found nothing. Reeves returned to the barn. She examined the truck one more time. She checked every compartment, every storage space. Under the driver's seat she found a phone. It was old, an iPhone 6. The screen was cracked. Reeves powered it on. The battery was dead. She took it to a forensic lab. The lab charged the phone and extracted the data. The phone belonged to Sophie. The last activity was June 20th, 2019. Sophie had sent a text to her mother. The message read, "I'm okay. Don't worry, I'll explain later." The message was sent, but Sophie never explained. Reeves checked Sophie's call history. On June 18th, at 9:47 p.m., Sophie had called 911. The call lasted 18 seconds. Then it disconnected. Reeves pulled the 911 recording. The dispatcher answered. Sophie said, "Help, I'm at mile marker 284. Then the call cut out. The dispatcher tried calling back. No answer. The dispatcher sent a trooper to the location. The trooper arrived at 10:12 p.m. He checked the rest area. He found no one in distress. He noted that several trucks were parked, but no one flagged him down. He left. The dispatcher logged the call as a possible pocket dial. Reeves listened to the recording again. She heard something in the background. A man's voice. Faint. The voice said, "Hang up now." Reeves sent the recording to an audio analysis lab. The lab enhanced the voice. They compared it to known samples of Aaron's voice. The match was 92%. It was Aaron. He had told Sophie to hang up. Reeves wondered why. Was Aaron threatening Sophie or protecting her? Reeves checked Sophie's text messages. On June 18th at 9:32 p.m., Sophie had texted a friend. The message read, "Aaron is acting strange. I don't feel safe." The friend replied, "Leave, call the police." Sophie did not respond. Reeves contacted the friend. The friend said she had been worried. When Sophie did not reply, she tried calling Sophie. No answer. The friend assumed Sophie was busy. She did not think to call the police. Now she regretted it. Reeves reviewed the timeline. Sophie felt unsafe. She tried to call 911. Aaron told her to hang up. Then Aaron towed the truck to storage. 3 days later, Sophie checked into a motel, alone. She withdrew money. She sent a text to her mother. Then she disappeared. Reeves wondered if Sophie was alive, and if Aaron had done something to her, or if Sophie had done something to Aaron. Reeves issued a public appeal. She described Aaron and Sophie. She asked anyone with information to come forward. 2 months passed. No tips. Then a woman called. She said she had seen Sophie in 2022 at a grocery store in Fargo, North Dakota. The woman said she recognized Sophie from the news. She tried to approach her, but Sophie left quickly. The woman thought it was strange, but she did not report it until now. Reeves flew to Fargo. She checked grocery stores. She showed Sophie's photo to managers. One manager said Sophie looked familiar, but he could not be sure. Reeves checked surveillance footage. She went through hours of recordings from 2022. She found nothing. Reeves was about to give up. Then she got another call. A man said he had rented an apartment to a woman named Sarah Mills in 2021. The woman looked like Sophie, but she had dyed her hair. The man said Sarah moved out in 2023. She left no forwarding address. Reeves tracked down the apartment. The landlord let her in. The apartment was empty, but Reeves found something. A note taped to the inside of a closet door. The note was handwritten. It read, "If you're reading this, I'm gone. I left because I had to. Aaron is not who I thought he was. He scared me. I called 911. He stopped me. He said if I told anyone, he would hurt my family. I believed him. I ran. I changed my name. I've been hiding for years. But I'm tired. I want to come home. If you find this, tell my mother I'm sorry. Tell her I'm alive. And tell the police to look in the barn, under the floorboards." That's where Aaron put it. Reeves returned to the barn. She brought a forensic team. They searched under the floorboards. They found a metal box. Inside was a handgun, a Glock 19. The serial number had been filed off, but the lab was able to recover it. The gun was registered to Aaron Walsh. Reeves sent the gun for ballistics testing. The results came back 2 weeks later. The gun had been fired once. The bullet matched a projectile found in an unsolved homicide from 2019. The victim was a truck stop owner in Minnesota. He had been killed on June 19, 2019, one day after Aaron and Sophie disappeared. Reeves reviewed the homicide case. The truck stop owner had been found dead in his office, shot once in the chest. The security footage showed a man entering the office at 11:47 p.m. The man wore a baseball cap and a hoodie. His face was not visible. He left 3 minutes later. The truck stop's cash register had been emptied, $2,000. The case went cold, but now Reeves had a lead. She showed the footage to Sophie's family. Sophie's mother said the man's build looked like Aaron, but she could not be sure. Reeves issued a warrant for Aaron's arrest. She sent his information to the FBI. They added him to the most wanted list. 3 months later, a man was arrested in Oregon. He matched Aaron's description, but his name was different. He said his name was David Grant. Reeves flew to Oregon. She interviewed the man. He denied being Aaron, but his fingerprints matched. It was Aaron Walsh. Aaron was extradited to South Dakota. Reeves questioned him. Aaron admitted he was on the run. He said he killed the truck stop owner. He said it was an accident. He needed money. He tried to rob the place. The owner fought back. Aaron panicked. He shot him. Aaron said he drove to the barn and hid the gun. Then he changed his identity. She moved to Oregon. He started a new life. Reeves asked about Sophie. Aaron said Sophie found out. She saw the news. She confronted him. Aaron said he told her not to go to the police. He said if she did, he would hurt her family. Sophie believed him. She ran. Aaron said he had not seen her since June 2019. Reeves asked why Aaron signed the logbook on June 18th. Aaron said Sophie refused to drive after she found out. She was terrified. Aaron drove, but he signed the log as usual. He wanted everything to look normal. Reeves asked why the steering wheel was adjusted for Sophie. Aaron said Sophie had been driving earlier that day, before she knew. Aaron never bothered to adjust it back. Reeves contacted Sophie's mother. She told her Sophie was alive. She was hiding. The mother cried. She asked if Sophie would come home. Reeves said she hoped so. She released Sophie's note to the media. She asked Sophie to come forward. She said she would be safe. Aaron was in custody. 2 weeks later, Sophie called. She said she was ready to come home. She met Reeves in Fargo. Sophie looked older, tired, but relieved. She said she had been living under a false name, working odd jobs, always looking over her shoulder. She said she missed her family, but she was afraid. Reeves promised her protection. Sophie agreed to testify. Aaron was tried for murder. Sophie testified. She described the night Aaron told her what he had done. She said she felt trapped. She said she loved driving, but she could not keep partnering with a killer. The jury found Aaron guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison. Sophie returned home. She visited her mother. They hugged. They cried. Sophie said she wanted to rebuild her life, but she would never drive a truck again. Reeves closed the case. But she kept thinking about the steering wheel, the small adjustment that had stayed in place for 6 years. A reminder that sometimes the smallest details tell the biggest truths, and sometimes the person you trust most on the road is the one you should fear. Some mysteries solve themselves when someone finally stops running and decides to speak.